everyone. Thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. Have you ever wondered what it was like to be a lady in the street but a freak in the sheets? On this show, I'm joined by returning guests and fellow LadyFreaks Grace Parra and Jen Bartels of the LadyFreaks comedy show. Yeah, babies. We're getting into all things sex, masturbation, fantasies, what kind of penis Grace saw the other night, what makes the best sex, and even the worst. Enjoy. Thanks for listening. Sex toys are kind of like potato chips. You start with one, and you immediately want more. If that sounds familiar, I want you to head over to your local Hustler Hollywood store. There are Hustler Hollywood stores all over where you'll find an assortment of erotica, sexy lingerie, and of course, the best sex toys on the market. Each store is filled with an attractive, eye-catching displays with all the top intimate products on the market, and their knowledgeable and friendly staff are there to help with any questions you might have. Whether you're shopping with a partner or for yourself, if you want to take your sex life to the next level, Hustler has all the products you need to get there. So in the words of Hustler, sex is free. We sell the accessories. So mention Sex with Emily when you check out. Get 20% off your purchases. And if you're an online shopper, no problem. Hustler's got you covered. You go to hustlerhollywood.com. Use code Emily20 at checkout, and you get 20% off your first order. That's hustlerhollywood.com, code Emily20.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com where you can check out our podcast and you can subscribe to it. It's so easy. You get there, you're like, boop, subscribe. 2 a week. We do 2 podcasts a week, and then you'll like never miss an episode. You'll be all caught up with what's happening with like Menace's life and my life because it's so scintillating.
Yeah.
And one more thing that I got to tell you, because then I won't bother. Well, I might bother you with this. It's not even a bother. This is actually for your pleasure that you should follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat at Sex with Emily, because I think it's educational and entertaining. And you're listening because you want to have better sex and relationships. And we dole some of that out on our social media.
I think the Snapchat is very entertaining because it gives you behind the scene. You know, you've been doing this podcast for like 10 years.
Right. And
no
one
one ever
knows.
gets to see the behind the scenes on how it all works.
Exactly.
You know?
Like how
So
we just all did a blowjob spray shot before to make sure our throats were coated.
Don't people want to see that?
Right.
Also,
we
how
just
very
watched it.
attractive you both are.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Very attractive.
Thank you. Well, how about you guys? How about our guests who are
Badly.
so sexy? We were just saying for the show,
know.
like, they brought it.
Yeah.
Like, you guys always look hot.
Well,
Grace and
thank
Jen.
you.
I mean, you don't see me before 11 a.m., but I appreciate
Right.
that.
No, me neither. I don't even talk to anyone before noon, actually, which is why I miss Menace's morning show. But it's a podcast, so that's good.
It's
But
all
you guys
good.
are great.
Thank
you do.
you.
And thank you for
Very
coming in
sweet.
again.
Thank you.
We had so much fun the last time you guys were on. Menace, I'm sorry you weren't here for that show, but it was the like anal sex show. But we had a round table of women, and we didn't just stay with anal. We talked, but you guys are just very like open and,
Ooh,
and
do you
fun.
have a small recap of that? Was it just about how guys try to talk you into having anal sex, or was it?
That
It
was
was
like
all
the
over the
first
place.
minute, maybe.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
it called so people can listen to it?
Oh yeah, I don't remember what it was called.
I don't remember, but it was really it was awesome. So we have to have them back, and they've also had me on their show, the LadyFreak show, which tell everyone about. Introduce yourselves.
Sure.
A little more. Because
Well,
you guys
hi.
can do it better than anyone. Hi, Grace.
Oh, hello. This is
Sexy Grace.
Sexy Grace. Hi, I'm Grace. Yeah, Jen and I have been doing a show called LadyFreak for a little over a year now. It is our pride and our joy, and it's basically a sex-positive comedy talk show by, for, and about women, although not exclusively, especially since lately we've been expanding that definition. But it basically is a forum for us to talk candidly and intelligently about some topic within the realm of sex and dating. dating and romance, and how all those topics specifically relate to women. So we talked about everything from technology and sex to toys and sex to intimacy and problems therein. We're talking about religion and sex.
Yeah, we just had
well.
our last show that we had. Oh, hi, Jen Bartels.
Yes.
This is Jen now.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, hello. And we just talked about sex workers and like prostitution, and we had real sex workers on our panel, which was like so amazing.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
are these just live shows, or are they online video?
It's a few
audio?
different
What
things.
is it?
We're primarily doing the show live right now, although we also are starting the comedy festival circuit. So we're going to be at Out of Bounds in September in
Nice.
Austin, which is awesome. But no, also we had I'm also on the nightly show on Comedy Central, and my boss Larry Wilmore is, first of all, the greatest, and second, has been a guest on our show, which is awesome, and had then had Jen and I on panel to do a topic about prostitution and decriminalization.
Oh my God,
of
I want
that
to see
topic.
it.
Yeah, we'll
That's
send it
great.
to
Wow.
you.
That's really
So we actually did it on the nightly show on Comedy Central too, which was awesome, and that was
That's
that was very
great, you
recent.
guys. Congratulations. Bringing sex to the people. People have to understand more
Wait,
about
so
it.
Talk about it.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to follow. I'm a little slow. So you want to legalize prostitution?
No.
Okay.
The idea is that prostitution should be
Yeah.
decriminalized
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not legalized.
Right.
It should follow
Okay.
what's called the Nordic method,
Okay.
or the Nordic model, I think is what it's called, which is basically like what Sweden and a lot of other.
So what happens if you get caught doing prostitution?
Here now?
No. But I'm just saying, with this, what you're trying to promote.
Oh, they turn a blind eye, basically.
Okay.
The situation is that if you, let's say, are held at gunshot right now while you're in the middle of like a
Held at
prostitution.
gunshot, not at
thing.
gunpoint,
Right.
guys. Gunshot.
No,
The
gunshot.
shot has
Gunshot,
gone
that
off.
was right.
You're already
The
been
bullet
shot.
is
Too
like
late.
mid-air. Ooh, hi.
Yeah. Sorry.
The idea is that basically there are very few people, government-wise and medical-wise, that you can turn to if you are a prostitute who is under any sort of duress.
There's no rights right now for
Right,
people,
there are-
and that's their own choice if they're wanting to utilize their body for business. And right now, there's nothing protecting them. The thing that we learned with LadyFreak is that there is a difference between decriminalization and legalization,
Right.
which I didn't
Yeah.
know going into it, which is, I think, a big part of the show overall is like
Yeah.
learning, like, I go into it knowing what I know. That's why we always have a sex expert. That's why we've had Emily on.
Oh, Emily's
the
the
show.
greatest. We
You're the
love
best.
you.
That was really fun.
But always having someone
go on the
that really
road with
knows.
you.
Yeah, okay,
Actually,
come on.
yes, we
You
can make that happen.
Okay, good.
We'll do we'll have a big
But
old
that's
bus.
cool, you guys. You guys are getting it out there. They can find you all. We'll have all the information on our
Sure.
website, but it's LadyFreak.
LadyFreakComedy.com.
I love it. Okay. Oh, and I found the last show you guys were on, which was honestly one of our most popular. I think it might have been our top show of the year.
Oh.
Ladies Talk Sex Backdoor Secrets.
Oh,
That's
I'm
the one,
sure
that's
that's
the one.
why.
People love the anal shows. What am I
course.
gonna do? But then
It's
they're
like
just-
every guy's obsession: anal and threesomes.
Are those your obsessions?
My obsessions, maybe when I was in my early 20s, yeah.
Right.
Probably.
What are your
But,
obsessions now?
Good question.
Getting rest, and then
A good 8 hours and a light
Yeah,
Riesling.
yeah,
Yep. Hey, same here.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
yeah, I don't think I have those obsessions anymore. I would actually really have to think about it, but right now I can't.
The clock is on right now. So
Yeah,
by the end of the
exactly.
podcast,
So
we're
you
going to
gotta
come
All right,
back
I
to
got
that
one.
one.
So what's
I'm
your-
obsessed with.
what are you obsessed with?
I don't know.
What are you guys obsessed with sexually right now? Anything
Yeah.
going on?
Honestly, rest sounds real good right,
Right.
now.
Right?
I've recently, so the last time I was here, I was just going through a divorce, and now I'm fully divorced.
Ooh.
So now, I don't know, I feel like I'm in like the sex peak. When is the sex peak? Is there a sex peak?
There's
or is
a
this
lot
lie?
of different. They say that it is like women in their late 30s, early 40s, mid 30s to early 40s.
I was going to say not there yet. So
Okay, good.
as I touch my face.
What? Okay, good. So okay.
34.
Yeah, that's not where they would say the peak is, but I do think that. But the truth is, I think that as women mature and we get to know our own bodies better, and we know what we want. We're not afraid. We're not just giving some guy a blowjob because we think he wants it. We don't care
Yeah.
about our orgasm. You're like, hey, I know myself. We're confident, and so the sex might feel a lot better.
Yes, but I also think there's times I'm in my car and my little nubbin clit starts going like it's just
Like you just got an email?
like it is. It's a squirrel making a cute noise, but it's my vagina, and it's me wanting sex. Like I crave sex, and it's like usually mid morning and early afternoon. I'm like, I would love to be filled with a dick right now and have an orgasm.
Wow.
I think there's
and you never had these thoughts before.
No, I'm having
Jen.
very good sex. I used to.
See, that's okay. I was
am
going to
having
say
sex that
there's
leaves an impression.
There's a correlation. When you are having a lot of sex, when you're having good sex, you want more. I'm almost in the opposite. I'm like Sahara Desert, population Grace Michelle Parra. with one exception, which we'll get into in a second. Two exceptions, actually, I should say. But otherwise, like since I moved to New York in October, it has been not great. And now it's just a cycle. Now it's like, oh God, I'm on the hamster wheel of no sex, and I guess.
Are you accepting of it? Are you just kind of into it now?
I am to an extent because I'm super productive and happy in other ways. I really am like very fulfilled career-wise and friend-wise and all these other non-sexy.
Cut to me and I'm masturbating in a parking lot.
Well, I was going to say, do you use your Vesper necklace? She's got I gave her the Crave Vesper necklace last time, and you really do ever just pull over, like it goes bloop, and then you pull over and with the vibrator on your neck.
No, I've used it before, and let me just say this: I've washed it because I'm wearing it on my neck now. I don't want to be like, oh, I just rolled that bitch.
Touch it and be like, hey, where's that been?
And I'm like, cool, it's a vibrator. Watch out. I used it in my bedroom, but it's nice to know you can travel with it, which is nice.
Yeah.
Like if you're like on a sexy vacation and you just don't want to bring like your rabbit or something.
Exactly. No, it's a
good conversation starter.
It is a great conversation. Especially when it turns on by mistake.
You guys want potato skins? I'm wearing a dildo right now.
Right, exactly.
I do have a question though about you're saying about New York because we're originally from San Francisco, and they always say the guys are pusses and they're too shy and they won't go up to women. And then you hear about New York, guys are just super direct in your face, telling you what they want.
I've heard that too.
But you haven't found it?
The thing is that kind of personality would not appeal to me. I do like a guy to be direct, by all means. But first of all, I've been working so much, I haven't been going out to bars and clubs and even events that much. But I find that guys in San Francisco and LA are more of a happy medium. You can find aggressive guys here on the West Coast, but I don't know. There's plenty of guys who are really nice who I'll go up to. I have no problem with that.
Really? Yeah, in New York or here or anywhere.
Here.
The aggressiveness in New York, I think you're speaking to, only because I grew up a little bit in Staten Island, is more cultural. I think there's certain types of men that are aggressive, like Grace is saying. But I think in general, when you get to New York City, like Manhattan, people are shut-ins a little bit.
Yes.
Like they're either working, stressed, or drinking till 4 a.m. But there's no, I feel like people are more outgoing in LA.
The drinking till 4 a.m. thing is really interesting. I've noticed since I cut back on going to bars, dating just doesn't happen for me in New York because that is how dating.
That's how you like 2 a.m. You meet someone.
Exactly.
Dating in quotes here.
Right, which is like now I'm at the age where that's just not as fulfilling to go get fucking hammered at some bar with some random dude.
I thought you meant hammered like jackhammered, but you meant hammered and then jackhammered.
Either, honestly.
Right. That's what I thought.
And I know I sound like an old man, but it's just so late.
It's so late. It's so late.
I don't know. Like back in San Francisco, everything shut down at like 12:30.
That's reasonable. That's delightful.
Yeah, literally. Still, you can't eat past noon, midnight. At noon, midnight in San Francisco. Like nowhere to eat, nothing to do.
Go give that digestive system
you feel
a rest.
okay. So, but here, but I also wonder if it's like you were saying in your life, like Jen wasn't having great sex before. Now you want, and now you, Grace, maybe in the past you were having great sex, but your career is great and your friends. It's like all the balance in life.
It's so hard to find balance. Do you
I don't
guys
think
have
you
balance?
do.
I mean, Jen
No.
and I talk about this all the time.
I don't. I'm working on it. I don't know if I think I'd be bored.
I don't think. I think a big thing I've realized lately through a lot of therapy and vodkas is you're always striving to find the balance, but that is why we live. Is always juggling to find the balance, and just throughout it, give your best. Don't be a dick. But you're always trying to find it.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
No, I was just saying the balance. It sucks because like career-wise, everything can be awesome friends-wise, and then you're not having sex. And then when I'm like unemployed and like figuring out what I'm going to do next in my life, I'm getting laid constantly,
Same.
Exactly.
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
The times where I've been getting laid the most, I have nothing going on.
It might have to be how much you apply your time, though, because I think there is application of specific time and focus and attention. You're putting more time and stuff on your career, and so that's hard to balance, and also trying to spend the same amount with a man.
Because that stuff is more. It's fresher to me. Like the career stuff that's happening is fresher and more exciting than sex.
You're also
where
in
it's like,
control.
I'm also in control. And I don't know, with sex, it's just like I'm at a good place right now. I've done a lot of crazy things or whatever. What I have not done is been in like a very long-term relationship with somebody that I love and had really good sex with that guy. And that I think is the next frontier. But that doesn't come going to a bar at like 3:00 in the morning.
Right. I mean, it could. But it could happen just from, but right. I get it. Like, I think there is a part in your life where you have to spend time in your career getting to, building your career, which builds your confidence, which gives you independence. And it's such a passion. And you both are entertainment, not an easy business. And it is hard to do it all. I've totally had that where I the last 10 years I've been working on this.
Yeah,
so
I want to know about your sitch.
no, but it's the same thing. Like I haven't been prioritizing dating in a while. And I was dating someone, we broke up like 4 months ago, and I was like, this is the longest, I'm not even interested. Like I'm not even nothing. And I was saying like, I don't even remember to masturbate. Like I walk in my house and there's like literally like 5,000 dildos going like, hey, you got to try me out for Tuesday's blog. I'm like, oh my God. Because, and then we were saying, like, if I'm not having sex, which I kind of like, because then I've been working on myself, like therapy, doing more yoga, doing more whatever, but not thinking about sex. But then I'm also not turned on as much. But then the more that I start to masturbate, or when I am having great sex, I want more sex, like you were starting to say. But it's about, for me also, it's a health thing. Like, I think that if I don't even if I'm not having sex, I need to masturbate. Like, I realize that that's like off for me, because I'll just go, I won't think about it. I won't think to do it. And it's actually really good for your health, like your physiology, for women to like release that orgasm. So it's funny how we are, because guys are like, what are you talking about? Every day I get hard, I masturbate, it's over. Like we're like, well, you have to. But when I make myself, so I like, masturbate today, like I will do it because I feel better. So it's all important. So right now, no, I'm not really having sex with anyone.
I tried to last night, and this is a rare instance.
Have sex or masturbate?
Masturbate.
Okay.
And this is a rare instance where I fell asleep like 10 seconds into attempting.
You turned yourself off.
I
you're tired.
did.
You turned yourself off and then turn yourself on.
Does that happen to you guys, where you just get you're
yeah.
shy, you're so sleepy?
I've been like, I wake up and then the vibrator, and then the house, someone comes over and it's like sitting in the middle of my bed, or the housekeeper. Yes, that happens to me. I've done everything when it comes to sex toys and packing them inappropriately and all that. But I want to go back to one thing here, Jen, that you said. So you said, right now your clitoris is like speaking to you in multiple languages, and before it wasn't, because you weren't having great sex because you were married.
I don't know.
Not because you were married.
Yeah,
but you just weren't having great sex.
Yeah, there wasn't that physical connection anymore.
But I want to hear about when you say you're having great sex right now. Can you explain to me what that means?
Yes.
Can you break that down for me?
I think for me, it means it's a few things. Here we go. I think for me, I do think dick size isn't the only thing that matters, but I think that a good full penis going into my, I would say
no half sizes here.
I think I maintained a fairly nice tight canal. I think that feels good, and I think that like I'm just lucky that that's the case right now. And
it's a boyfriend or
someone I'm saying, yeah. And then I also think like there's a connection, like even if it's eye contact. Like there's been guys I've had sex with where I'm like, our eyes are both closed.
Intimacy,
and there's just this almost like vulnerability. You don't want to go there, so you go in your head to come, and it's like, oh, I came so good. Where'd you go? Where'd I go?
Who was here?
Who was
What's
here?
Your name?
What happened? So I think that like connecting, and then also not being afraid to try things. Like we try things now. Like we try. There's
they held hands.
We watched Chopped. No, but there's a few things that we're not afraid to try, and I think we're open to try them, and that's sexy.
Give me an example of the last thing you tried. I'm just curious what that means.
Okay. I think that one of the things that we tried last was a little bit of choking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I tried that.
Choking's so huge right now.
Choking's all the rage, right?
So
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he got a memo like, try choking with her tonight. But I was like, at first.
It came from Pornhub.
Oh,
no, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
it's okay.
I think
it's okay. Choking questions we never used to get, and we never used to get deep throat questions 10 years ago.
But now
Really?
it's
Wait,
like
deep
so
throat
Sex
how?
has changed.
Deep-
Oral sex, deep, like
Right.
blowjob, deep. We always like, how do I get her deep throat? And how do I choke?
Guys fetishize that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's trending on YouPorn now.
Oh.
Right. Okay, wait. So you tried the choking, and it was hot?
It was good. I mean, at first, because it's me, and there's this sexy, like I think feminine side, and I think it's always trying to balance itself with my comedic side, because that's just who I am.
Right.
So we're doing this, and I'm like, oh, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, you like, oh, but you're all right though. Like, am I doing it too much? Is it jugular? And I get worried.
So
I
you
don't
were
want to
choking him, or also vice versa?
Vice versa, both, but a little bit of both. But
little switching.
Yeah, I'm totally down to always go where someone else goes. Like I think that's how I feel safe in that
I've never
space.
choked a guy. I have had it.
I just don't want to kill him. I just don't want it to be that David Carradine thing or whatever. I don't want that to happen. So, but then I got into it, and I was like, no, we trust each other enough that if this goes too far, then we can back it up. So we just were vocal. But there was a brief moment.
That's a safe
tuna.
word.
Yeah,
Tuna.
That's super sexy, right? So okay, that's good. What's it like? How about you? Well, Grace, I know you're not having sex right now,
God,
but
yeah.
well, you are. Well, a little bit, little dalliances.
There was a dalliance. There have been a couple dalliances this year. One incredible with a friend of mine. Both these guys were friends. One is a friend of mine. It was really it was awesome. Another guy more recently.
Wait, was this a friend that you've known for a while, and then you just slept together, but you'll still be friends?
Yes, and we
I
are
love when
still
that
friends.
happens.
Yeah, it's really lovely. It was, it was the situation where he watched one of our shows live, and it was a really big turn on.
Oh, because you're
then
sexy little vixens, you. Okay.
Sure.
Is this soap?
This is
Soapy soaps?
soapy soap.
Soap beard?
No.
Oh God, we gotta know.
No. This is
They got code names.
Oh my God, they're whispering. Okay.
Sorry.
His
Just in
name's
case.
Pickle.
Just in case. Oh, there was a close.
There was a pickle.
Oh wow! All right.
That's pretty dead on. No. This guy, he really liked the show, and he knew that we did the show, but hadn't gotten to see it. And that weekend, we slept together, and then we actually spent more time talking about the sex that we had. Just like analyzing it and talking about what worked and what didn't and how like
After?
Afterwards, and we
Like
did
a play-by-play?
a play-by-play, and it was awesome. It was completely sober, and it was
Wow.
so present.
Completely
I
sober?
loved it.
So So how did you? What made it great? What made it so good? And then what was the play-by-play? I mean, I just always want to know when people say I had the best sex. Like,
Right. Well,
what does it mean?
This guy is he's an actor. He's very takes very good
Is
care
he famous?
of
What's his
himself.
name? Can we Google him? Okay.
What's his IMDb?
So he's just a really attractive guy to begin with. I mean, for me, I at least
Very
think
good
he's
looking, yes.
Yes.
He is very good looking.
So there was that. There's the fact that we've been friends for a long time. We'd gone out on some dates, hadn't slept together, but had spent some time together. So we knew each other. Also, we live in different places. And so this was a time where it was like, oh, it's kind of now or never.
Because you're in Newark, right?
Yeah, exactly. So so that also sort of fueled the fire a little bit. And I think I really like the fact, first of all, I respect his work, and he had gone out of his way to come see us perform and clearly respected what I do, and that's a turn on.
That
to me
is
too.
a turn on. And
You
he saw
guys
your
know.
work and he thought like, wow, you're really talented. You're really
Yes.
like sexy and hot and good at what you do.
Yeah, all those things. And, this is something that Jen and I talk about with her current situation too. There's no bigger turn on than to have your partner love what you do.
Yeah.
Champion, someone that's not intimidated by you, but that's just like, I'm a fan, not a fanboy, but I'm a fan and I'm a supporter. And so like, especially when people come see our show, it also cuts out the middleman and that bullshit dialogue you have to have. When LadyFreak is done, you know a little more, you're more educated, but you're also turned on.
Yeah.
So when that thing happened,
And you're
after
like, I'm
our
ready,
show,
game over.
Grace was like, let's go. And I think it opened that dialogue quicker because we're not afraid to go there and make you feel like included.
Yeah.
Do you feel though now that you're doing the Lady Freak show and the sex is so out there that guys might just want to sleep with you because you're the Lady Freaks?
I don't know. I think there is probably a subsect of guys who think like, oh, they're like fucking fluid or whatever.
Or who see our pictures and think like, oh, titties on a screen and they do comedy. And I'm like, well, Google a little more because
which is why I think we should change those posters. But it's something to talk to you guys about too. I'm looking at your poster right now and it's so sexy, but like classy. And
I try to keep it classy at least in
ours
my
look
office.
like we're 2 steps away from jizz in the cheek.
Yeah, 2 steps.
Which is actually, the show's doing really well. So, but clearly you're not gonna do that. But
can't change marketing.
I'm just curious because what?
I was just saying a joke.
Oh, because I can't. I've had those. I mean, I wonder that too sometimes. Or people ask me that question all the time because of what I do. But I'm just like, you just know. Like if a guy's with me, I'm going to be with sex. I would know that.
I think so.
Just because it's the sex thing.
There is the flip side too, which I think might also be happening, maybe in equal proportions, where guys are like, oh, "You're not going to like talk about me, right?" Or "You're not going to like," which is like, I would never violate anybody's privacy. It's all about making sure that you can be honest about your anecdotes, but keep it within a realm where people can't like Google or see pictures or whatever.
I'm really big on like keeping my personal,
Yes.
and also my persona when we go on LadyFreak is a heightened version.
Right.
So there's so many things that when I'm discussing it, it's not that it maybe hasn't happened, but I might dilute or marry the truth with different elements, so you don't know everything about me because I am still a person.
Yeah.
I'm not just like somebody that's like wearing a tight shirt and has a loud mouth. Like,
right.
Right.
No, exactly. That's true. I mean, I get. Right, same thing. People don't understand like we're performers, but it's real. Like we're not like playing in a character, but it's
right. It's
we're
all
on
rooted
stage.
in reality.
Do you really want to hear about like how I had a headache yesterday and like when I got in a car accident and I took off the left side of my Mini Cooper and
oh no,
so boring though. Do you really want to hear it? No. Okay. So what do you guys? So I think we also talked about you're both in relationships now. So I was even gonna. You're not in a relationship.
I'm not.
So what about because I'm getting stuck on things you're saying because they're so good. Grace, when you said that you did the play-by-play breakdown after,
yes,
what happened in that conversation? Did you learn something? Was it?
Yeah.
He was surprised, but he was like, I loved how you sucked my penis, and then your
It was a
clitoris was
little-
all blossoming like a rose. Like,
Well, first of all, he made me squirt for the first time in my life. I should probably have. That's a
hello, bury the lead. Right, okay.
I forget. I can't believe I forgot that.
I can't believe it either.
Yeah, wow, Jesus.
So he made you squirt how?
Yeah,
During
well,
intercourse or finger?
A finger.
Okay.
Finger, yeah. And I had not experienced that before. And we've talked. I think we might have even talked
I'm
about
sure
this
we
last
did.
time.
We've talked about squirting.
Of course.
I don't know, but probably.
It was the first time that happened. So I had a lot of questions, and he was like, that happened, right? And I was like, yeah. Oh my God, how? What the? And then we
Did you have an orgasm at the same time you were squirted?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't as. I guess I was expecting like some sort of seismic earthquake adjacent orgasm. It was not quite that. It was an orgasm. But it was mostly just like this rush of fluid that, again, it doesn't, by the way, actually squirt out of you like a geyser. Like,
No, it does not.
It does, but
In porn it can sometimes, but
in
for
porn it
people
definitely
practice,
does.
right.
Right. But this was not the case. However, there is there's a different
Flow.
feeling.
Yeah.
There's a flow. It definitely feels like pee. You've squirted before, right?
No, I feel like I
okay.
was almost about to, but I was like, I have such anxiety. I was like, no, this is definitely piss.
Right.
Something might be going on. But then I've heard like, no, there's that pressure, that feeling. That's the same feeling. I just was like, it was so new in the relationship. I was like, I'm not trying to piss in Palm Springs on you.
Right.
So we pulled that back, and I just came clit style.
right. That's good. Is that how you mostly orgasm? Clit?
Total clit.
Total clit only.
I guess in this case, this was not clitoral. Actually.
Well, right. That was more G-spot.
Yeah,
What
it
about you?
was.
Are you more of a
Blended.
G-spot or-
I'm more of like a go-to clit, but I've had to learn. I've learned how to have a G-spot orgasm.
Now, I wanna
'Cause
know
women
about
write
that.
Oh God, hello.
Because I want to learn that. I want to
Yeah.
learn how to have
What's
orgasms.
the best way G-spot wise? Because I know the best way clit wise is just let me hop on top, let's look at each other, and let me rub it down as your dick's inside.
Right, exactly. So the clit's easy, right? That
Yeah.
just happens for women. Usually it's the first orgasm they have. And the problem with the G-spot is that so many women assume because they've never had one, all the penises that have been inside them, they're like, it won't happen, or it won't happen with my vibrator. So they just say it's not possible. But the thing about the G-spot is the best way to find it is with your fingers, actually, or your partner's fingers. And it might take you like a few weeks, a few months of masturbating, like a few times a week, where you're just like, so it helps to knock out the clit one, which you guys I know are really good at.
Cross it off the list.
Check clit, because once your clitoris, once you have that orgasm, like the whole area becomes engorged, right? Because it's all kind of connected, and it's easier to find the G-spot, so it kind of swells inside, and you know where it's like. I'm like showing you guys.
No, yeah.
It's like
So, guys,
two
she is
fingers
spread
in.
eagle right
oh my
now
God, where's
with
our
nothing
vulva?
on.
Where's our vulva puppet? But you stick a finger or two inside, and it's 2 inches inside towards the vaginal wall, and you do like a come hither motion. So it's like, and we've got also, if you guys are listening to this, it's sexwithemily.com. We have so many blogs and posts and podcasts and diagrams. But you stick it inside, and you just keep applying pressure. So it's not like this. Look, this is, what'd you name it, Madison? My vulva puppet?
Lola.
This is Lola.
Hi.
This is Lola, the vulva puppet. I would like to have a little clitoral orgasm today. You would, you.
I love
Okay,
this.
so stroke the clitoris. No. So then you put your fingers inside. Okay, well, this is actually works. So you go 2 inches inside, so like this, and it's like right up here. Okay,
What
and
should
you're
it
hitting
feel
it.
like? What should it feel like?
It feels like a different texture, and it's a raised bump, kind of like a walnut texture.
Ooh.
Right, and you'll feel it, and you'll
Omega
just start.
3s.
So find that nut.
Find that nut, and you just keep applying pressure to it. Now, it might feel like you have to pee.
Yeah.
And you might. That's okay. But a lot of times it just means you're going to have an orgasm.
Now that's what happened in Palm Springs.
Yes.
He found the
Yes,
nut,
he found the nut.
and he was trying to pull it from the tree, and I literally was like, if you pull it from the tree, it's going to rain. That's exactly how it happened. And I was like, Palm Springs is a desert. We're good.
That's when a lot
So
of women.
I should have just let him pull
Oh my
the
God,
nut.
but you're so close.
So
Will you
but
call me?
you can make it happen
Oops.
now.
Will you, yeah, so that's it. You're
So much
close.
sex happens in Palm Springs.
I was just
So
there.
much
What else do you
sex.
do? You drink day drinks and then you have lots.
Exactly.
I've never been to Palm Springs. Maybe I
Well,
have to
you
go.
need to
Maybe
go. You need to
go.
That's where Grace gets her groove back.
That is where, yeah.
And the other thing, one more thing, and I want to go to Palm Springs sex because I just went there and didn't have any. But that's a good story. That also the thing that helped me, because I really want to tell you, is that doing my Kegel exercises like that.
Right.
I swear to God, you were talking about. I love your sound effects with your clitoris driving. Like I feel like when my Kegel muscles are strong, and it's like 5 minutes a day you do them. For the times when I'm really good at doing it, when I've been pretty good this year, I feel like it's like when your like abs are tight, and you're like, I should wear a crop top if that ever happens. But it's like, wow, I should have sex because those are the muscles that you can clench. It also helps to like do them while you're like want to have an orgasm, and I have like these explosive orgasms during intercourse now, which I never could before that easily.
I do Kegels. I think since you've been on our show, I've been doing Kegels more. It's like you should do your squats and stretch after you run. I do Kegels now when I'm just like chilling
Is there
in bed.
time of day? Yeah, is there time of day?
Usually,
Doesn't matter. You can do it for your.
I just did
anytime.
one.
I did one now. Yeah. Two.
I just did 3.
You got to concentrate to do them.
You do.
It's almost like meditation, but for your Kegels.
Now I feel like I have to fart.
You can do whatever you want here.
you go.
'Cause we're super, super open to that.
Hi, I'm Grace
So
Parra.
how long would you wait? So when you're with someone, like, would you wait to give like feedback about, like, would you say to him, I want to try the G-spot there, I want?
I have had whole relationships with men where there was no feedback, which is how I know I'm in a different part of my life, because one instance of sex with one awesome person and, doing a feedback session like we did after that was
feedback.
amazing. But both of us were on the same page sexually.
That's the
it's
thing.
really hard to find a partner who's on the same page sexually.
And willing to be open. I think
Yeah.
there's the before
Right.
and the after and then the during. And I feel like everyone gets their mojo for these 10 to 20 minutes of like fucking. And then when
Right.
you're done, it's like, I'm good. That was great. Let's get some food. And it's like, wait a minute. You were just, the other day I looked at my partner and I was like, put yourself inside of me. And then I was like, God, think about that. You put yourself inside of me like I am an alien ship and you are coming in to be docked.
It's
like,
so weird.
It's so interesting and weird. And then we both get to a place that our body feels like we need to release this tension and feel close and connected, which I think is so important.
Right.
And I just haven't, like Grace said, like once you've had that, now it's like it opens the door.
You can't do that one night stand
No,
with,
you can't.
Johnny
It's-
McDubers. over
Johnny
at the bar.
McDubers. Who
Exactly.
is
It's not the best
horrible
sex of our
person.
lives. Let's be honest. Not that a one night stand can't be, but typically it's when you have the closeness or the intimacy and you know how to communicate, because that's the number one thing is being able to talk to your partner about sex. And people, it's a skill you develop, but it gets better over time.
You just use the phrase "best sex of our lives." I think that is what I am now in search of, and anything that's not going to be awesome sex does not.
I love it.
Does not.
She's
matter.
like pounding on
I
here
know.
like it's a declaration. No, it's true. No, that's why.
That's the age that's the age that I'm at now. I just don't want to settle for subpar shit sex.
No,
Right,
and
exactly.
I think this,
I don't need
everybody
your
that
garbage
listens,
penis.
Yeah, like everyone deserves to feel good about their body and feels like they should be able to communicate with whoever, male, female, whatever, that they are getting and like their body's respect and they're getting what they need.
Yes.
And you just don't see that. It's even generationally, like I have people that are a little older than me that I'm like, oh, you were in something horrible.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you guys do every night?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So how would you tell people, like, what do you think is what would you tell your younger self, for example?
I think,
about sex? Like last year.
In
Good
general,
question.
like for something I did tell myself was you're not happy and this is going to be a hard road and it's going to be a struggle because you're used to someone, but you know that someone is not fulfilling you the way you need to be, emotionally at times or physically at times, and you deserve that. You work really hard on yourself and there are other people out there that might be a better fit. And then you have that grace period of
Grace Michelle Parra.
where you're kind of like, fuck, what now?
Yeah.
And then there was just a few crazy nights, a night where I hooked up with like a 23-year-old and it was like
In a bathtub.
weird, and he like fingered me in a bathtub and I made him listen to oldies and he was like, all right. Listen to the Shirelles, they're great.
I thought oldies to him were like Nickelback.
Yeah.
What's this guy?
Yeah.
You like Creed?
And then I kind of had this, like I was on a TV show and I hooked up with someone that had worked on the TV show and he was like big into sex parties. He was younger than me.
Okay.
That's another thing is I was married older and Grace and I spoke about this.
Just last
I
night,
now I'm kind of into younger guys. Not like 22 and they're like,
Right.
what's a bike?
Wait, how old do you mind? You're Grace is 34.
I'm 31.
31. Okay, 34. Okay, so now you're into younger, like.
Oh, like 28 to 30.
Okay, yeah.
How old were you when you got married?
This was almost 2.5 years ago.
Oh, so you got married for like a year. You were married for.
I called off the wedding, the initial wedding. So I was with this
That's a
person for
sign.
almost 7 years. That is
Okay.
a sign, guys. If you're doing it,
So hard to-
and it's hard to. Well, you know what? It's hard to upset someone else that you care about.
course.
So a lot of people in life, for different reasons, stay with their partner, and they shouldn't, but they're afraid to be that bad person. But you got to put yourself first.
Absolutely. So you pulled out of that one, the marriage.
out.
Pulled out, and then I pulled in. I
And
ducked
then
back
you
into
learned-
another.
So now
dick.
you've learned that when you're saying, so I
opened
get
up
it,
shop.
because that's when I started. When I started the show, I was like, it was truly because I thought, I've not had the best sex in my life, and
Yes.
nobody's happy in their relationships. And I really just wanted to get some answers from people. And I started interviewing like this, sitting around a table, people like all my friends, like what do you mean like you had 3 orgasms? I was like, how did that happen? And how have you been having? So that's why like I really want to know like what and how I've learned.
And that's why we're such big fans of you and the podcast, because it's all these conversations. I mean, you know how to get amazing stories out of people. It's awesome.
Let's hear more about your life. We came in and she already told me, which is such a in radio, like, but you did tell me this great story when you walked in, and I kind of can't get it out of my. It was like a half a story, but I was like, tell me later.
Well, so I mentioned there were 2 moderately recent sexual experiences. One was great, squirty guy,
Squirty
A+.
Squirty reconnaissance after we liked him. Okay.
Yep. And then there was another one, and this was just one of these nights that we're referencing that we don't want to have, where we're in search of good, awesome sex with somebody who we're intimate with, who we have connection with, who we feel like, you know, we are both of a presence of mind to enjoy each other's bodies. Or you just go get bombed at a party. We're like, hey, I remember you. Yeah, we've been friends for like 8 years. Yeah, what's up? I don't know. You still single? Yeah, me too. Cool. 14 more drinks? Yeah, sure. And then they end up in your bedroom, and you wake up the next morning, and literally I woke up and I opened my eyes and I felt his presence next to me, and I went, oh, no. I audibly just went, because I couldn't believe. I thought that it was, it was a drunken night. But here's the thing. As he was getting ready, as I was so hungover already, and I was just like, okay.
Also, what's adorable about Grace is Grace had 3 drinks and an olive for dinner.
You were there.
That's how I am too. No, I get wasted too.
She was like, I was almost blackout. I was like, you had 3 drinks. I have like 7 drinks on a normal night.
Anyway, everything was super consensual. Everything is, I remember all the major things, but what I don't remember was how the sex was, which was a problem because when he was getting dressed the next morning, I noticed that this man's penis went down to the middle of his thigh. Wow. I mean, it was huge.
It was like a Cro-Mag dick.
It was a Cro-Mag dick. It was like earlier on the evolutionary.
It's like, why wear boxers?
Wait,
why?
Was it
hard or flaccid?
It was like pseudo, semi.
With thin, skinny?
No, dude. It was like
a Toll House cookie log.
That's exactly what it was. It was a roll of Nestle cookie dough, and you would not. Yeah, and it was that long and it was that thick.
Was your vagina hurting? Like when I've had a big potato cock, which is to me not as long as that, but like a
girthy.
a cocoa can, a Coke can, a Coke can. That's a Norwegian Coke. But did your pussy hurt?
The thing is I remember that there was some insertion, but I don't think we actually finished sex because we were both very drunk. So the next day it was a little sore, but not more. I've seen some sizable ones in my life, so I have some experience.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't know. It wasn't that sore, but I don't think he was jackhammering me all night.
Were you turned on? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I was, but I was also really drunk and sloppy. So it wasn't. It was just. It was all bad.
Right.
It was all bad. And
did you get his number?
Have you talked to him? Emily would like his number.
Because literally, if you're not using them,
I think he lives in New York. Actually, I don't know where else.
I don't know.
No, that was a situation where he left, and I was like, whatever. And then like
I don't even like Toll House cookie. Like,
oh really? I love a cookie dough though.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
He like 2 weeks later reached out to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of dickish.
What is this about now? You hook up with you back before Jen was in a really healthy, happy relationship with a guy talking about everything and having sex. But I'm serious. Like, what is it with the guys that they circle back? Like, they always like, it was great, but then I'm going to wait 2 weeks and be like, hey.
Yeah, explain this.
Keep in the rotation.
They're at their house. They're horny. They're like, who do I have access to? And then they reach out.
When you say that,
you don't want to believe that. But that's the absolute fucking truth.
And that to me, and I think that probably that is in part true, and this is just me speaking as your best friend and because I know you well.
Can I be like the third baby best friend, like the understudy?
Of course there are people out there.
I'm not saying it's cool.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I guess, like, this is to all the partners out there that think this is okay. Hi. People like Grace and Emily, and there are a lot of people that like keep their shit tight, like their pussy in their body, but also their brain and their voice. And like, if you're gonna just like sit and then 2 weeks later be like, oh yeah, Grace.
Yeah, I could use her sucking my dick now.
Oh man, I got a hard on and KFC's closed, so I guess I'll call Grace. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
even call.
Not even call. Of course. No, I think it was a Facebook message.
Oh Jesus!
Get the fuck out.
Might as well MySpace it.
Get the fuck out. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I thank you for that message. I would say, guys, girls can do that too, but I'm going to be fucking real. It's mostly guys that do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just step up your game because, like, you're going to get there's a lot of, like, cool-ass chicks out there. And not, like, cool once you get to know them and they're good on the inside. No, whole package bitches that are, like, awesome and, like, don't have time for that shit.
And by the way, for the women out there listening, hi, don't not be a full package bitch just because you want to get laid more. Don't do it.
So explain to me how you think that women do that. How do women, like, sell themselves short by not being the full package of bitch?
I've done this before.
Okay, so let's talk about little Grace, young Grace.
Well, you asked a great
Littler.
question earlier about what what advice she would give to her younger.
Tell yourself. Ask
My
yourself
advice would be you have to be vocal about what you want, and you cannot be afraid of getting out of a relationship. I waited too long in almost every relationship that I've been in to get out.
What do you think that is? Why do you think you didn't get out of them?
It was a lack of confidence on my part and thinking that I would never find somebody else, or that it would take too long, or that I was at my best when I was with somebody, and being solo was a lesser version of myself, which is the exact opposite.
Because you are the most truest yourself. Yeah, I mean, you're the most truest to yourself. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. When you are focused on yourself, there is no one out there, no matter how amazing it starts or it is, or how much they like you or you like them or vibe, that will give you and make you feel the way you can make yourself feel about yourself. And like being in something that for 7 years, like I respect him, my ex. I think he's a nice person, but there were so many times that like I should have left that relationship. And it's like it's that's the to get over that too and realize, okay, you're older now, like you learned, but you can't help but beat yourself up a little and go, fuck, man.
Right. Well, no, that is a good message. I mean, I think that a lot of us are afraid of, really, it's fear. We're afraid we're going to be alone. We're afraid we're going to be abandoned, that no one else will love us, that this is the best thing that ever happened to us.
That's also society, because a man can get older and it's just, and it could be like, no, it's not the same. No, fuck, it is the same. There is like some old school values here that go on where a man gets older, Salt and Pepper Clooney, and he's hot as hell. A woman gets older and it's like, oh, what happened to Aunt Michelle? Aunt Michelle and Uncle Tommy broke up.
She had all those men. Yeah. Now there's nobody.
I will say, speaking on that beat, I love an older man. I am the opposite of Jen. This is another thing we
talked about this yesterday. Why am I gravitating towards younger men and Grace is gravitating towards older men?
Okay. I mean, I like crypt keeper style, 1 foot in the grave. No, not that one. I love an older man.
Like you guys go play bingo?
Sure. We go to bed at 9 p.m. Oh, God, I love it.
I always do a little older, my age or a little older, except for this year I did a little younger. But I typically...
How much younger?
8 years.
Oh, that's good.
That's a substantial amount.
I know, right? And it was too young.
You're just, they're not there yet. They're
not there yet.
That you can't even be like,
I love nothing there.
Yeah,
there. You get to a certain point in your life. Some guys get there, some guys don't. Some women get there, some women don't.
Are you looking for something serious?
No, I'm looking. I like where I'm at now. I feel like I'm in something I can trust and I feel committed in. But
She's about to squirt.
I might get ready to squirt. The sex is great. I feel supported because it's probably piss. But I think right now I'm just focusing on being the healthiest version of myself, physically, mentally. And if someone stays along for that ride, then they'll get a great ride because I'm pretty fucking cool.
You guys are
saying
rad.
Like somebody younger is just because you're having fun, maybe they're a lot more fun and have more energy.
They
are.
Now
things.
I'm going to tell you that, like in this, I don't want to go too deep, but like my ex was older, and he was an older.
How much older?
10 years. But 10 years when I feel like I'm like a little firecracker, you need to like.
I'm a firecracker.
Yeah, that's how firecrackers sound. Beep boop. So I think I do gravitate towards someone that's like, come on, let's fucking go to a dive bar. Yeah. But he's also professional, so it's not like let's go to a dive bar and let's try this cocaine at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday.
And he also likes what you do. I've had an experience, many experiences actually, with younger men who just got envious of what I was doing with my career and were not supportive and took that out on me in really shitty ways. Yeah. Or even guys who are like my age or a little bit older. I'm not going to fuck with that anymore.
Right.
If you don't A, support me, and B, have your own shit going on that I respect the shit out of, it's done.
The hustle's there. I don't want you to be a dick, but I want you to have hustle.
Right. I want to be driven and passionate about something in your life. Hopefully it's your job and you've had some success in the sense of just who you are. You're not on that soul searching. Exactly. Like doing coke till 2 a.m. at the dive bar and I don't really have a job. But it's
Emily always asks this question. It's like, what's the most sexiest word? And I say employed. Because I definitely want to date somebody that has their own thing going on.
Completely. That's exactly
I don't need to be your focus.
No.
I need you going to do your thing.
Needy.
And then we have fun together. Yeah.
I agree.
Exactly. And that's why older men to me, at least in my experience, older men are not exclusively, but a lot of older men, the ones that I'm attracted to, are very well established in their careers.
And how much older than you would you say? Because you're 31.
I mean, there was a guy who was 20 years older than me.
Guys in their 50s are hot. I'm telling you.
And I'm really, I am, yes, very attracted to him. And in a lot of different ways. Physically, absolutely. What he does, absolutely. Just his personality, all of it there. He's divorced. I find that very attractive in men across the board. If you're
divorced,
it's true.
Yeah,
shows you can
divorced,
commit. It shows that they like can be in a relationship and they want to. And
that's a great way to look at it. Because I was like,
not a failure. You're divorced.
Yeah, I don't think
opposite.
it's a failure. I don't think that, but I think that not everyone thinks that way.
Right.
So when I got back in the dating scene, I was like, yeah, I'm divorced, or I'm going through a divorce. And I was like, no big deal, pass the pickles. Because, we always eat at a pickle restaurant.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
But,
always.
But then I also have to think about my partner who I might be seeing that, like, that might be something to them. Because everyone looks at divorce.
Exactly. It's so true. It could be true. People think, oh, she's failed. But to me, I was looking at it as like, well, good. This is a guy or woman who is actually wants a relationship. They know how to do it. They've made the commitment and they tried. So
but I have a question for all of you guys. But okay, well, here
all of us.
Along the divorced men beat, it seems like there are two paths for the divorced man. There's either the guy who is like, nope, done with marriage, never going to do it again, confirmed bachelor. And there's the guy who is like, yeah, that one didn't work out, but I love marriage. And 9 months later, they're in something else. Is that true? Does it feel like...
I've seen both of those, yes. And also when they have kids, too. They kind of want it, like sometimes they want like a step parent, someone to help them raise the kids. Right. I have seen both of those things. I've seen
Is
people
there
who
a third alt that I'm missing? Because it seems like those are the only two directions.
Yeah, there's the like just... divorce. I think that they sleep around a lot, and then eventually they want to get married. I guess it's all kind of a variation of the same thing.
Like my dad, he's his second time he's been divorced, and I think that he would get married again if the right person came along.
I think that a lot of men, like typically it's the women who leave the marriage, most relationships and marriage. And I think that men more so do like it once they're in it, and they kind of don't want to be alone. And the women don't want to be alone either. I'm just saying, but this is not a general stereotype, but studies are showing that women are the ones who leave, where the women are kind of like, I was kind of like, it wasn't amazing, but like, I got a blowjob 3 times a week, and we like went to dinner, and
that is not enough. There are certain, I mean, I think women are just evolving, and that is not enough for us. Like,
not enough.
It's if I'm not challenged, or I'm not feeling respected, or not feeling heard.
Yeah.
No.
See, and I love that you're saying that because it's such a strong message, because there's a lot of women who don't even know what it's like to feel valued or heard in a relationship or respected.
Yes.
They don't even know that that's a possibility. And so, like, for me, like that's like if you don't respect if you ever for a second like say something mean or hurtful or it's like you're out, like not a chance. You don't get a second chance.
No, you don't get a second
disrespectful.
chance.
And I just want women everywhere just to like realize like that's
don't
how
be
you
afraid to be
treated.
alone.
Don't be
afraid
being
to be
alone
alone.
is the best work you can do, and I'm not just talking about masturbation.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get on to some emails, but first a quick shout out to our sponsors. We love them. If you've listened to the show the last couple months, you've probably heard me talk about a unique product called the Womanizer. A while back, the owners of the company asked if they could send me one to test out, which, of course, you know me, I agreed to it. I own and review a lot of toys, and I was fairly confident I've tried every category of product around, but I was wrong. The Womanizer was designed in Germany, and unlike anything else on the market, it indirectly stimulates the clitoris using suction. It's kind of like a sexy ear thermometer. It has a silicone cylinder on the face that you place over your clitoris, kind of like how a partner might use their mouth. And while it's on, you can vary the suction and move it around to create an amazingly intense experience. In fact, most women in their focus group achieved orgasm in 1 minute. That's right, a 60-second orgasm. You can just knock it out if you want. So I tried the Womanizer, and they weren't kidding. It's amazing. The suction is adjustable, and you can position it to create so many different sensations. The Womanizer is really in a category of its own, and I suggest you check it out for yourself. Go to sexwithemily.com and click on the Womanizer banner for more information. Okay, now we're on to emails. Thanks for emailing me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. We love hearing from you, and we love even more when you include your age, where you live, how you listen, and what else, Menace? Where you live, how you listen, your age, and
your location.
Your location. We said that, but that's good. But the age thing bothers me lately. People don't give me your age, and I'm like, you're the best. It's the most. The love of your life just left you. Are you 18 or are you 56? Like, I need to know. Okay. Hello, Emily. I've recently started listening to your podcast all the way from Rome, Italy. Now I'm reaching out for some relationship advice. To summarize, I was married and lived in Canada, but moved to Rome for work with the overwhelming support of my husband. After a few weeks, everything fell apart. He confessed he'd been seeing someone from work for months.
No.
The marriage was over. The way it ended, that still haunts me a little, but I'm trying to work up to letting all the hurt go. Fast forward to today. I'm in love with this beautiful Italian. He is kind, generous, hardworking. We have been together for about 1 year and moving together in a few weeks. We travel well. We've met each other's families. We want kids, and the sex keeps on getting hotter and hotter. But here's the thing that's bothering
there's always
me.
a but.
But he won't add me on Facebook. His rationale is that if he likes a picture, of another girl, I'll be jealous, and that will cause an issue between us. In fact, I'm okay with that being Facebook friends or Facebook official. If he wants to like a picture of some girl, he can go ahead. What I do not like is his attitude about this issue. I feel it's shady. Of course, he's offended. I would even suggest such a thing. We're at the point now where I can't bring it up again. He wants me to let it go and move on. I see it hurts him, and he doesn't have my complete trust. It's so confusing. Am I being oversensitive given my past because her husband cheated on her? Should I be concerned? Am I naive if I let go? There's so many good things about a relationship, but this issue makes me question it. Advice, Sarah. I read this and I was like bubbling. I mean, this is
drama.
Trust. I mean, but this is trust.
It's trust. The whole time you're saying it, it's not about that. Yeah. It's nothing to do with Facebook. That's the thing it's hiding behind for this month. But it's not going to go away. There are trust issues that she has to get over within herself. She has to integrate what happened in her past, learn from it before she can move on and be in a healthy relationship in her future. By being secure, or as secure as we can be, because we're all a little insecure, but to be secure enough to love again and to accept someone's good and bad. Because I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly. Like,
right, it's not about
Facebook. Yeah,
it's about
Sarah. Great email, by the way.
Yeah.
First of all, but that would drive me nuts because, like you just mentioned, Jen, it's not just about Facebook. That's the thing this month. But guess what? There's 4 million apps out there. I want to know if she can look at his phone. Right. What about his text messages? What about his Snapchat? His Twitter? I mean, that's just all these exactly
his Bumble account. How does he feel about that?
Or like a private journal, or what there's clearly stuff that she does not know about his life that she wants access to,
and that's
he's
because
not giving
she's
her
scarred
access
from her
to.
last relationship. Because I think that people can have their own private truths that they kind of have that their own. Like if I have a journal, I prefer nobody look at my journal. Sure. If I have my text messages, let me give you permission, or maybe not give you permission. It doesn't mean I'm like text fucking somebody, but I have my own life, And so there's also like bleeding boundaries and setting boundaries of what you want to merge and what you don't. And I think that's getting blurred because she is hurt from a past relationship.
What do you think, Emily?
No, I think that, I think there's so many things. I think that she definitely needs to heal and move on because she's been through trauma. She's in a foreign country and met a hot, sexy Italian and moved in with him. I'm sure he's amazing. Yeah. I'm sure he's making her feel
Starring
great.
Diane Lane.
I'm sure all these stuff. But what I see here is either he's making assumptions about her, like he's already judging her on his past girlfriends who probably got really jealous about things, or he's distrustful. So either way, it's really bad because he's just judging her, not giving her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she doesn't care and not online all day that you're, liking girls' photos. And he's also just setting it up for, like, I think, also that for failure because he's probably, a lot of times when people are making the assumptions and pointing fingers, they're the ones who are actually got something going on the side.
The
He's
shutdown
jerking
of
off on Facebook Live.
The shutdown of communication. The thing that when he said, I think he said in the email, she said he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. We're not allowed to talk about it anymore. Who the fuck says we're not allowed to talk about it anymore? This isn't team you and then I'm a little side person and you give me a jersey. No, I want to talk about it because if you're not meeting my needs, then turn the pizza in. I'm going back to Canada.
Yeah, exactly. Game over. I mean, it pisses me off because also he came in, she's vulnerable, the whole thing. So
I
that's
don't like
how I
it.
feel.
It sucks because everything's going on the right path to like move in with each other and stuff like that.
Right, I was about to send flowers and then all of a sudden.
Fucking weird that
that's a red flag.
You don't want to add me on Facebook and we're in a relationship over a year.
Yeah. And we're moving in and like sharing dishes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's incredible that it's gone on for a year. I would have been like, oh, this is too weird. I'm out.
I think it was like her, getting over the husband thing, but she's got to move on and work on herself. I'm telling you that it's very hard to do though, because when you get out of a relationship, you naturally want comfort from
You're
someone
accustomed
else.
to being with a
and
partner.
You want someone to make you feel good because we don't want to feel that pain, but like it'll always be there unless you just spend that time alone figuring out unwinding it, like what went wrong, like
you have to
feeling
do that.
it.
That is the best thing that you've
Ever.
You have to
Best
feel
thing I've
that
said
pain.
ever.
No, but you have to feel that pain. Like
You
I
have
think
to. We run
you don't
from it.
want to. Why? That's why
Because
people
it's
jump.
your pain. You
Yeah.
cannot
Can't push it
rely
on anybody else.
happiness
Yeah.
to be bestowed upon you by somebody else.
Exactly.
And when you search for a relationship so soon after ending another one, it's because you have not given yourself time to heal and because you don't trust yourself enough to be able to get out of this rut yourself. You have to. You have to. Or else you're just going to be reliant on somebody else forever.
True. Okay, we have time for one more. Emily, I just started listening to your show last month and I can't stop listening. I have already put into practice your advice from previous shows to start talking to people and getting out of my comfort zone. It has completely brought me out of my shell. My question is this. I'm in the age-old situation of being interested in a fellow coworker. The thing is, I'm not the one who made the first move. She was. We were at a going-away party at the office and she made a funny comment about my height. I'm over 6 feet. I was quick enough to follow it up and we started talking for a bit. We talked a bit more since. I've even started eating lunch with her and some other people. Little things she says and does makes me think she's interested in me. For example, asking me questions about myself, sharing personal space in my cubicle. It sounds like she's like sitting on his lap or something. How do you share space in a cubicle? It's a cubicle, for Christ's sake. Mentioning she has an ex. That's another thing. It's been going on for about a week. And I'm afraid if I don't make a move soon, it might slip away. The problem is my job has a policy against dating in the office. Should I suggest something casual like a drink after work? I'm unsure of how to proceed without it seeming weird, causing tension in the workplace. I have little to no experience dating and only theory from what I've heard on your podcast. Thanks for the hours of the juicy info. Ben, male, 26, Boston, Massachusetts.
He sounds hot.
But also, if you are just like taking off the training wheels on dating and getting social, maybe you don't want to shit where you work.
I completely agree. I would say you got to let it burn. It's been a week.
Yeah.
It's you know what?
It's been a week.
Also,
These
maybe
things
go
simmer
for a few runs. Go for a few runs around the bar and maybe get a little more in tune with who you are and what you want dating wise before you drop a bomb on Natalie, your coworker.
Here's what I hear.
And then it
I
goes
hear
to
a guy is over 6 feet tall and he has a job. You'll be able to find something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some girl who like might have leaned over you and and hit you in her with her breast because she was grabbing a pen or something.
Now, I will say having workplace crushes is great. It's great ammo to come in every day and to I love I need to get a workplace crush. I don't have one now. Sorry, everybody
Really?
at Nightly
I think
Show.
you will.
Maybe. We'll see. It's really nice. In the past when I've had workplace crushes, it's lovely to go into work and have that little somebody.
It can also blur and overly dictate your work life, which I think is the other way. Is then if it goes bad, so Ben, is his name Ben? So this goes good, you have a few good night kisses and then it ends poorly. Now, you've tainted your workplace and your work focus. Be prepared for that. I don't know if you know.
And there's a rule. They actually have that policy in place and you can get fired.
Sucks.
So
I mean, like, I'm not anti... I don't know. I never had a bad experience, and I've dated a lot of people in my workplace.
Everyone he's dating
because I work so much. I'm like, oh, they're right there.
Yeah,
Might
no,
as well
that's
date them.
right.
And I haven't had a bad experience with that. But I haven't had a workplace where there's a rule where you can't do that.
Right.
You know,
there's a lot of things working against him here.
That's the situation where it's like, if that's going to happen at some point in your lives, it's going to happen. Let it happen naturally. Don't push it. I say go find other ladies.
Right.
And in the meantime, keep developing that friendship and see what happens.
Exactly.
You're
She
in
might have some
Boston,
cute
man,
friends.
and you're 6
and
foot.
Ben,
Yeah.
I love that
Bastard.
you're learning and you're putting this stuff into practice. Because I always tell guys, like, what guy isn't nervous? Like, what if you haven't been out there dating? Some guys aren't naturally conversationalists, but it's like everything else in life, it's practice.
Yeah,
So
and I think
practice
that's
talking to 3 women a day.
It's unfair for men at times because they're held up to this pedestal of like, be cool. You know what? I'm cool, dude. I'm awesome. I don't give a shit. This is who I am. And it's like, calm down, buddy.
Yeah.
You can also, you know what I mean? It's okay to, maybe not even if it's like, it's okay to cry, but it's okay to show emotion and be social and have feelings, you know? So good job, Ben. Just
I like Ben.
I like Ben too. It's really cool.
We all want to sleep with you, so if that makes you feel better.
Ben,
But we
Ben.
can't.
Ben, buy a ticket.
Buy a ticket, yo.
Flying to Burbank, not LAX.
Burbank's the worst. I mean, Burbank's the best.
Yeah.
Flying out
The
tomorrow.
best.
Okay, you girls are the best.
Oh.
Grace and Jen, you guys, I love you guys.
great
You really,
guys.
and
You
I'm
guys,
so
thank
proud
you
of
so
you. Every
much.
time I see you guys are like doing so many more amazing things each time. So Grace, and tell me people can find you.
Oh, yes. You can find I'm on the Nightly Show on Comedy Central. We have shows Monday through Thursday, new shows Monday through Thursday, and we're on Monday through Friday every week. And you can find me on Twitter and Snapchat at GraceParra360 and on Instagram at GraceParra360 as well.
Okay. And then the Lady Freak stuff. You'll get into this, Jen, too.
So hi,
Jen.
I'm Jen Bartels, everybody. And you can find me on the Twitter, the Snapchat, and the Instagram at Jen B. Giggles. I know it sounds sounds dumb, but I didn't think it'd take off. So just go. I don't know.
Jen B giggles though, as you can remember.
But I mean, listen to me. Do I sound like I giggle? No. I snarl
you make
and I
us giggle.
Thank you.
I giggled a lot.
Thank
yes.
you. Thank you. And so you can follow us with LadyFreakComedy.com. We have new bi-coastal shows at least once a month, whether it's in New York or LA, and we're looking to expand.
Yes.
You can also see us at the Out of Bounds Comedy Festival this September, and look out for some new stuff I'm working on that I can't really talk about. But good stuff.
You guys are killing it. That's amazing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys so much. This is a delight, as
so
always.
Fun.
So much fun.
Thank you. Menace, what are you? You're doing a lot of things, changing the world.
Just go to Menace on
Are you
Instagram
changing
and
something?
Twitter.
Aren't you doing something important?
I'll talk about that later.
Fine. He's not doing anything that important.
I've been doing a lot of
Except for-
charity stuff. I'm like super into it now.
I know. He's like a charity. He's getting to that stage in his life. That's sexy.
Awesome.
That's hot. I
tried.
almost think you're super sexy right now. No, I actually do think you're sexy. And people have been telling me lately they think you're sexy, Menace.
I don't know why.
It's weird. I know.
Because I'm at my worst.
No, you're amazing. I love you.
right.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, producer Madison. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Jamie, the amazing Sex with Emily team. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. Okay, guys, listen to me. I know some of you tune out every time you hear me talk about Kegel exercises. Well, guess what? You're making a mistake. Kegel exercises are not just for women. Try something for me now, guys. Tighten up the muscles you'd use if you wanted to stop the flow of urine. Congratulations! You just did a Kegel exercise. And doing these regularly can make an impact on your sex life. Kegel exercises can help you have stronger erections, better stamina, and more intense orgasms. You'll be blown away, literally, by the difference Kegels can make in your life. To make Kegel exercises that much easier to get into, I created Kegel Camp. It's an app that trains you, reminds you, and tracks your progress along the path to Kegels of steel. And because I know you're competitive, I created 20 levels of intensity for you to work through. So, you up for the challenge, guys? Download Kegel Camp from your iPhone today and tell me about your progress at feedback@sexwithemily.com. You can get Kegel Camp from the iTunes Store or by going to sexwithemily.com and clicking on the Kegel Camp banner. See you at camp.